Wears Valley isn't just a place you pass through, it's a place with remarkable history, unforgettable stories, and one of the Smokies' best hidden gems. Welcome to Bear Facts, where we explore the Smoky Mountains one bear fact at a time. Pigeon Forge has Dollywood, and Gatlinburg has the Space Needle. Townsend is known for its peaceful rivers and excellent fishing, while Sevierville has become a destination for shopping. Each of these communities compete for your attention with eye-catching attractions, theater shows, and giant hotels with countless dining options. So what could Wears Valley offer you? Well, how about this? Quieter roads, unobstructed mountain views, rich history, and a feeling that you've stepped back in time. Here, you can get a glimpse of the Smoky Mountains from long ago, still uncluttered by the madness of the cities beyond. It's the kind of place many people remember from road trips and old photographs, where the mountains were the attraction, not just the backdrop. Ironically, most people see Wears Valley as little more than a backdrop to the Great Smoky Mountains, and in many ways that's fitting because most people pass right through without giving a second thought. They're usually on their way to Townsend or the Great Smoky Mountain National Park or taking the Scenic route to avoid the traffic of Pigeon Forge and Gatlinburg. And maybe that's one of the reasons that Wears Valley has remained as it has for so many years. Many people don't even realize it's its own community. And that makes sense because as you're driving through Wears Valley, you might not even notice a sign for the place. It's there though, I guarantee it, because here's a picture of it. Wears Valley is very, very subtle and quiet. They're not a loud community. And this is why a lot of people just kind of look at it and pass by because they don't think there's anything there or they don't have anything to offer them. Some people will look at Wears Valley, think, well, there's a lot of nice churches and people's homes, but there really isn't anything for me as a tourist per se. However, Wears Valley has begun to really change and develop, but for the good. Instead of going down the line of mountain coasters and more arcades or big skyscraper hotels and five-star restaurants, Wears Valley has kept it pretty simple. And not in a bad way, because the best things in life are those simple things that we enjoy. And here's a huge example of this. Wears Valley actually has a food truck city. Yeah, they actually do. I know, in the Smoky Mountains, I didn't even know they had food trucks. They do. This area here, if you're driving down 321, has different food trucks owned by local business entrepreneurs. And they offer all different kinds of fun foods that you can just walk up, buy, and sit down and enjoy the mountain views from behind. Now, another example of how if you go too fast through Wears Valley, you're going to miss some of the best things in all the Smoky Mountains, that's the Jaded Art Collective. Okay, we have passed this place so many times, and each time we're like, it's a bar, it's got to be some kind of moonshine place. I know they sell food because we had seen reviews online about the place. They have really good steak sandwiches. But we're like, I'm not in the mood for that. Well, finally, one day I stopped. I slowed down and I said, you know what, let's go inside and see what they have. And my husband said, okay, as long as they have fountain soda, I will go inside. So we decided to stop and get lunch here because we had heard they had some really good steak sandwiches here. And I figured, I'll get some photographs, talk a little bit in a video coming up on Wears Valley, and give people heads up about this place. Well, I'm so happy I did stop in and actually walk around. Inside is an amazing store. Yes, half of this place is a tattoo parlor, and you can definitely get some really cool ink on your skin if you wanted to. But for those of you who are not in the mood for coming back from your vacation with a new tattoo, the other side of this place is amazing. There's all these really unique oddities. This place has such an eclectic arrangement of different things. I don't even know how to describe it. The best way would be to describe Hogwarts and a souvenir shop from the Smokies. I don't really know how to describe it. I mean, looking at the footage, I'm sure you can just see everything that I'm looking at. I mean, what is with the blowfish? How many people would think that they're coming home from the Smoky Mountains with a fermented jar with a octopus inside of it? How awesome is that? Now, I know some of you are like, this is really weird. That's okay. Everyone has their certain tastes, and I thought this place was really cute myself. Either way, I was delighted. I could have spent an hour or hours in this place just looking at all the stuff. It is so cool. Now, of learning that Wears Valley has one of the best food truck cities in all the Smoky Mountains, and it has some really cool, nifty shops, let me give you some more facts that might make you even more interested in Wears Valley. Let's start with this fact. Wears Valley is one of the oldest settlements in the Smoky Mountains. Yeah, one of the oldest. It's easy to assume that places like Gatlinburg or Pigeon Forge came first because they're the most famous. But Wears Valley was already home to pioneer families in the 1790s, making it one of the oldest settled communities in the Great Smoky Mountains. It's closest to Sevierville in its age, as both of them were being developed at the same time. Wears Valley is over 230 years old. Another interesting fact, Wears Valley was actually originally called Townsend Cove. It was actually known as Townsend Cove, named after Aaron Townsend, who became the valley's first permanent settler in 1792. But around the 1900s, residents gradually began referring to the community as Wears Cove in honor of the Revolutionary War veteran Samuel Ware, whose nearby fort helped protect early settlers throughout the region. Over time, Wears Cove evolved into the name we know today, Wears Valley. Another fascinating thing to learn about Wears Valley is that it isn't a town or city. I had a hard time when I was reading the script for this because I kept wanting to say the word town, and I know I've said it and I probably will say it again because it's really hard not to say the word town. But anyway, Wears Valley actually is not a town or city. It's not incorporated. Unlike Sevierville, Pigeon Forge, or Gatlinburg, Wears Valley never became a town. There are no city limits, no mayor, no downtown district serving as the heart of the community. Instead, it's a collection of neighborhoods, farms, churches, businesses, and families spread across the valley floor. And perhaps this is the main reason that Wears Valley has remained as it is. There's no one pushing their agendas. Everyone has their own piece of land in their own place, and they're happy with that. This next fact actually surprised me, but Wears Valley is home to one of the largest residential populations in the Smoky Mountain tourist region. Wears Valley is home to roughly about 7,000 residents, a number that we can't confirm right now because it's not an incorporated city. The last census was done in 2000, but at the time it was about 6,500 residents. Now, Pigeon Forge has about 6,300 people, and Gatlinburg only has 3,500 residents. And Townsend only has like 550 residents. Sevierville, however, does beat them hands down with 18,000 people. But considering how quiet and remote Wears Valley is, it is kind of surprising to hear the numbers once you actually look for them. Okay, here's another cool little fact about Wears Valley. They have their own hidden entrance into the Smoky Mountain National Park. Yeah, I know. Most of you are trying to go to Cades Cove, go down 321, and then you go to Townsend, and then you head over. Well, there's actually an entrance into the park that's right in Wears Valley. Now, if your goal is to head to Cades Cove, I would still consider staying on 321 and go through Townsend, and then from there you can get into the park that way. However, if you just want to find an alternative route into the Smoky Mountain National Park, this one will take you to the Metcalf Bottoms Picnic Grounds. There you can actually take a right or left and go to Laurel Falls or Elkmont, or even eventually back over to Sugarland's Visitor Center. So you can take that route as well. It's just a different way of getting into the park. Another random interesting fact that I learned was that Wears Valley tourism began because of a natural spring and not due to the Smoky Mountain National Park. By the early 1900s, many people were coming to Wears Valley to enjoy the Line Spring, which many believed had healing properties. So in 1910, D.B. Lawson constructed the Line Spring Hotel, welcoming travelers looking for rest, relaxation, and better health. making it one of the earliest tourist destinations in the Smoky Mountains. However, due to the development of the Smoky Mountain National Park, the actual hotel eventually shut down because tourism dried out. And the spring itself is still flowing through the slopes of Round Top Mountain, but you can't go see it anymore because it's on private property. It's hidden from most visitors. Ironically, the place that gave birth to tourism in Wears Valley has become one of its best kept secrets. Now, if you remember earlier on, I explained to you that the town actually used to be Crossan's Cove. It was named after Aaron Crossan in 1792. Now, Aaron Crossan and Peter Pierceville are the two founders of the actual community. And yeah, Aaron got the name, but probably not in the way that he would have preferred and got the name, because just 2 years later, he was actually killed during a Cherokee attack and was eventually laid to rest at the Crossan Cemetery. Now, there are several different structures and buildings that you pass along and don't think about much when you are going down 321. One of those places is the Peter Brickley House, which is a log cabin built in 1808, more than 200 years ago. It is one of the oldest surviving cabins in the entire Smoky Mountains. Now, the house is privately owned, so it isn't open for tourism, but you can get a glimpse of it if you're driving down 321. Another building of historic significance is the Bethlehem Church. Although the original log building is long gone, visitors can still stop by the Wears Valley United Methodist Church, built in 1886. With its white clapboard siding and tall steeple rising above the surrounding trees, beautiful example of the simple Appalachian architecture and symbol of the valley's enduring faith. If you continue a little further along Highway 321, you'll come across one of Wears Valley's most recognizable landmarks, the Hedrick Chapel. It was built in 1902, and the chapel owes its existence to an unexpected lightning strike. For years, funeral services had been held beneath a large oak tree in the Hedrick Cemetery, until one day the tree was struck by lightning and destroyed. After that, the community came together and built what you're looking at today, the Hedrick Chapel. This chapel is over 100 years old and remains one of Wears Valley's most treasured historic landmarks, and is listed on the National Register of Historic Places. Now, here's a fact that becomes more apparent the more you learn about Wears Valley's history. This community is a survivor. It has endured frontier conflicts, lived through a civil war, weathered economic hardships, watched neighboring towns transform into world-famous tourist destinations, and overcame not one but two recent devastating wildfires that threatened everything. Yet, throughout it all, Wears Valley has never lost its identity. It's an Aaron got to, rebuilt when it had to, and somehow managed to remain true to the quiet mountain community it has been for more than 2 centuries. I hope this video helped you plan your visit to the Smoky Mountains. You're getting an honest review from our personal experiences, but facts and things change, so please keep us in the loop if you've learned anything new and want to share your experiences in the comments. Thanks again for visiting us at Bear Facts of the Smoky Mountains. Please click that like button and subscribe to our channel.